LimeVibe ความแลบด้วย Lime ความแลบด้วย Vibe LimeVibe ความแลบด้วย Lime ความแลบด้วย Vibe LimeVibe โอ้ LimeVibe
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host with the most, the great one, Yuri Araman Kemp, along with my beautiful co-host, Miss Kimberly Ram-Calawan from Trinidad and Tobago. How are you doing tonight, Kimberly?
I'm doing as best as I can, as I usually say. How are you over there in the Bahamas?
All is well, Kim. All is well. I'm having a great day today. I had a great day today, man. You know, it was a wonderful day. The sun was out, no rain. I was able to get all my tasks done. It was a good day. I just want to tell everybody before we start, Kim, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to these videos, please. Go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on YouTube or Facebook. And just like and subscribe and share all of our content. It really helps us out a lot. So, Kim, how's it going over there in Trinidad?
There's a lot happening this week. Today is Monday, so our Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago, they kickstarted their Caribbean Sustainability Energy Conference. Today was the opening day. It's a 3-day event, I believe. It runs later this week. So far, it has gathered most of our energy heads, company heads in Trinidad and Tobago, and how they are using the call for action when it comes to climate change and net zero and reducing our carbon footprint in their day-to-day operations and manufacturing, oil and gas. You know, we're oil and gas revenue dependent country. And with that, we do all of our companies have a responsibility when it comes to reducing their carbon footprint, when it comes to their emissions, when it comes to their production processes and things like that. So the start off of this morning's conference saw many of them discussing how feasible this is moving forward. Yes, they all have to meet these agreements in order to continue, especially when it comes to accessing capital for, you know, expansion of their businesses, not just only in Trinidad and Tobago, but wherever their company base might be. There was one company, Proman and De Novo, which its managing director, Brian Ramsey, spoke about that the language has changed when it comes in the last few years, when it comes to producing its reports, when it comes to producing its financial statements, when it comes to putting forward investments and things like that. They have to have a sustainability report. ESG is important. Yes. The language has changed drastically. I couldn't believe that these things had not always existed. He said in 2016 that the language had to change when it came to producing their sustainability report, when it came to putting forward a percentage of their greenhouse gas emissions in each report annually. So they had to put forward percentages and you know, account for these things with their company's operations, which was very interesting for me to learn. When it came to companies like BP, you know, we have BPTT here in Trinidad and Tobago. The president for the local arm of it, David Campbell, he too spoke about, you know, having his company even evolving from oil and gas revenue company to being a little more pushing towards renewable. However, he does say something about natural gas. Natural gas will always be there. Yes. We will always be dependent on natural gas. It is a cleaner fuel, despite it being a byproduct of oil,
Fossil fuels.
fossil fuels and that generation when it comes to exploration. So they always have gas and they need that. What they're looking at is how they monitor their emissions, having detection devices that is able to monitor the levels of ethane coming out from the plants and where their rigs might be.
Okay.
All of that was interesting to learn. Our energy minister, Stuart Young, however, says, while everyone is pushing this renewable energy, while everybody's pushing the green hydrogen, it's not feasible short term because
why not?
it's going to take a long while to finance these things. He slammed.
We finance these things.
Yeah, he's saying there's too much red tape and there's too many things going on when it comes to accessing funding at the multilateral level.
But they're the ones that are pushing this, though. How come there's bottlenecks and they're the ones?
Minister, the multilateral multilateral banks are pushing it. I don't know, but I mean, obviously, it's easier. We have a well-established oil and gas sector. To switch and to change is going to take it's a gigantic task. We know that.
I can imagine because you just can't switch from fossil fuels straight to clean energy overnight. It's not going to happen like that. It goes beyond the legislation. It goes to the actual structuring of the economy. How could you ask people now to start putting gas inside their cars and start using electric cars? That takes a lot of doing. That takes a lot of doing, man. That's not going to happen overnight. So yes, Stuart Young's right.
Yeah. So and another thing that they're looking at is even sequestering carbon. That Ghana and I believe you all sold some carbon credits recently, right? Not so?
No. We're trying to sell some carbon credits.
Right.
Yeah, trying to. We have nothing to sell really. We have not actually put into legislation yet, and it's not being actualized. So I mean, it's just talk on our end right now.
So it's like I mean, these conferences happen annually. And I've been covering it for some time. And to me, the conversation always seemed to swirl around legislation and policies that would encourage these things. We can't even get solar power on our national grid.
Wow.
These things into legislation, into our parliament takes a while. It takes political willpower. Barbados has been in solar energy for the last 30 years and more. And they've encouraged that kind of energy within their country. So you have to be able to see it long term. Green hydrogen, it's something that sounds marvelous. It sounds wonderful.
It sounds so sexy, right? Green hydrogen. It sounds so sexy.
I heard that Daniel Bass from the CDB, he too was talking about it being, hey, it's all about our energy sovereignty in the region, moving away from the fossil fuel dependence. That big chunk of change that we spend behind our fossil fuels or gas or petroleum reserves and all of that, we can save that if we go towards green hydrogen. This green hydrogen, however, the infrastructure and many of them that are in the business are saying it is too costly.
Yeah. It's a conversation we had here with the Caribbean Hotels and Tourism Association when they were trying to, switch hotels over into clean energy. They said it's too expensive to switch over. They just can't do it overnight, and it's going to cost them in the long run to switch over to clean fuels anyway, because they just not ready to spend the money on it. So yeah, I can understand the argument going on there in with regard to switching over to green hydrogen. So that's a new sexy term now for the climate change, right? They're gonna beat that term to death, right? Green hydrogen.
Well, we know Dominica has signed on, and Trinidad and Tobago is said to be one of its biggest clients when it comes to.
Oh yeah.
Because we need it for our methanol and ammonia plants.
Yes.
To see it, honestly, we all want that energy sovereignty, move away from spending that amount of money on buying oil and gas. Plus, the way the world has changed, we all saw what happened with the Russia-Ukraine war. Yes. And everyone used that as their example. when it comes to accessing natural gas. We saw what happened with natural gas prices last year.
Mhm.
It was still very much reliant when people could not access fuel.
Mhm.
So natural gas will remain that part of fossil fuel that
Yes.
we need. And what David Campbell from BPTT was saying that perhaps the fault in natural gas is that most companies have given it some bad light. We've
Oh,
always seen it as fossil fuels, but it is something that we can fall back on in the intermediaries of the transition to the solar energy. When these things falter, because rain, sunlight, those things, like wind, alternative energy is dependent on natural resources and the climate.
I'll tell you from what I feel about natural gas. I always felt it was like a cleaner alternative to oil. So I mean, I don't think anyone's been painting natural gas in a negative light at all. Actually, I think actually it's been the opposite. It's being promoted as the actual cleaner version of fossil fuels and a sensible alternative to fossil fuels. I mean, to oil, black gold.
For sure, it is because it is a derivative of
Mhm.
oil. When you explore oil, when you go, you have exploration for oil, and you get the gas. The gas is tapped into,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's harvesting that gas and using it. That's why we have LNG. Last week, when I was listening to the conference, post CREF, the CIBC managing director, she had said something to the effect that at one point in time, natural gas was, yes, it's being touted as being the best, the cleaner version of fossil fuel, and we all were going to jump on this whole LNG trip, but
Now
not
that's
every.
correct. That's the Caribbean Renewable Energy Forum, right?
Yes, it's the CREF. And this was a post-mortem of the CREF, and they were discussing the feasibility of LNG,
Mhm.
right? And most countries are actually looking. I remember 20 years ago, there was talks in the Caribbean that LNG trains were going to set up across the region from Trinidad. Patrick Manning was leading this, and we were just going to be shipping liquefied natural gas all throughout the region because it was a cleaner fuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's too costly. And she's saying in a same manner that we see LNG as being costly, green hydrogen is going to be just as costly. And we're not
Yeah.
going to see it going to be kickstarted, at least for the next decade.
Yes. Yes. That sounds like oxymoron, green hydrogen, though. I mean, I guess we have to see how it works, though.
Green hydrogen is dependent on your water resources and what you have.
Mhm. All right. So it sounds like you guys are having fun over there in Trinidad. How long is the conference going on for?
It's for the next few days. It's taking place at the Hyatt.
So this happens in Trinidad once a year.
Yeah, so this is usually it comes around this time of year.
Okay.
And it's put on by the Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago, which usually represents the companies in all energy, sphere. So they represent
commerce.
all the methanol, the downstream and upstream sector.
Okay.
So they have
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so they speak, about when it comes to the methanol production, ammonia production from oil exploration, gas fields, tapping into new fields toward energy, the sustainable energy that drive that the entire world has embarked upon.
One question, Kim. What's the state of Petrotrin right now?
Well, that is Heritage Petroleum right now. And remember, they broke it up into several companies. Today, the Heritage CEO, well, right now they're transitioning into a new CEO. It's from Arlene Charlton, a new one that they've gotten, an external person. So she was there talking a bit about it. Heritage, I can't say too much about their operations.
Okay.
It's a bit of quandary when it comes to how they function and provide in Trinidad, because we're no longer really manufacturing crude oil like we were. The refinery is down.
Mm.
And they've been trying to sell it for some time now, but seeing that change, I can't see.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys have fun with the energy conference in Trinidad. Any other news happening over on your side?
That's our biggest thing right now that has occupied us.
Okay, fair enough, Did you hear
We
about the other big news in the Caribbean?
What's that? I know there's a lot of other things happening.
Yeah, apparently they've convicted one of the masterminds in the Jovenel Moise, the Haitian Haitian president, Jovenel Moise. They've convicted one of his masterminds, Mr. Rudolph Ja. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Rodolphe Ja. He's a Haitian Chilean businessman who conspired with Colombian mercenaries to assassinate Jovenel Moise back in 2021. So he's being convicted and he's been sentenced to life in a Miami court. So he was the guy that gave all of the mercenaries guns and weapons to go over there and actually conduct the actual assassination of Jovenel Moise. So yeah, he's being convicted of, plotting to kill Jovenel Moise. So yeah, that's been happening. That happened 2 days ago, actually. So yeah, so at least that case moved. We kind of forgot about it, right? Because Haiti's being such trouble. See, look at what one assassination did to an entire country. After Jovenel Moise died, he was killed. Haiti just went into free fall, man.
Yeah,
Assassination.
we were hoping that with that president, they would have gotten a bit stability. I mean, last decade or so, they've been upside down following. They haven't really caught themselves after the earthquake. Rebuilding has been really hard.
And he was the actual glue that was helping them to put themselves back together. But for some reason, some people in the Haitian quarters just lost faith in him and they decided to kill him, which is quite sad because I followed him for a while. I saw nothing out of the ordinary about him, nothing that screamed that he was an overt dictator, an overt mean-spirited, cruel dictator. I saw nothing in him to that extent. I mean, you have to expect and accept that, the average run-of-the-mill politician in the Caribbean, they're going to put some money in their own pockets. That's fine, all right? But he was an overt, incompetent, corrupt buffoon that abused the people. And that's what had me so rattled by it, because he was actually trying to do a good job for Haiti.
I guess most people thrive. If it's the Colombian drug lords, they were obviously benefiting somewhat from it.
Yes.
Exactly. So they were thriving off the anarchy.
Yes. I don't know how you feel now, though.
It's not, I mean, to see the influence of the Colombians in Haiti is, somewhat, yeah, I know the Dominican Republic is right next door.
Yes.
So I guess the drug influence and the drug cartel will have an influence on Haiti, and it's a weak.
I believe the Colombian mercenary story was kind of like a red herring, and I believe something else is behind that. I don't believe it was Colombian drug laws. It had to be another dark force behind it, just using the Colombians as a smokescreen, because it would be easy for us to say, "Oh yeah, the Colombians were behind the Colombian drug laws were behind it because they were Colombian mercenaries." But I believe it goes beyond that, man. I believe these gangs, these international gangs, they're really borderless, and you don't know who's behind that. We really don't know who's behind it. Could be people in the Haitian society right now, just plotting how they're going to kill the next president when they come up. So we don't know what's happening. So I don't like to point fingers until I know for certain. But I think they would have said it would have been easy for us to say, "Oh no, Colombian mercenaries got to be drug lords," and they actually tried to paint Jovenel Moise as a drug dealer. Which didn't stick. It didn't stick because there was no evidence to point that he was actually involved in drugs to any great extent.
Yeah,
it didn't stick. So that's the scary part about it. You gonna say something, Kim?
No, I was just thinking about, I remember the day that the assassination took place. I mean, we woke up to that happening in our Caribbean.
Yes.
Despite it being Haiti, there was still, hey, that could happen. Any assassination of any leader in our region is a shakeup.
Yes, it is. And what people didn't realize, they didn't take serious, is that he was under threat for at least 3 months before he was actually assassinated. It wasn't as if they just up in their society is going to kill him today. At least for the past 3 months, he had death threats and people were running up close to him, and he was actually under arrest, and nobody took it serious. And none of the intelligence agencies took it serious. None of the CIA took it seriously. None of the Haitian police force didn't take it seriously. No one took it seriously until he actually, one morning we woke up, like how you said, one morning in 2021, and realized the man was assassinated. It was and right in front of his wife too. It's such a brutal, bloodthirsty killing, man. And
I remember having to be shipped off to airlifted to Florida for treatment.
Yep. And she's such a beautiful woman, and she's still holding on strong, still talking about her husband, and still giving interviews to the press.
I mean, she believed in her husband's dream
Yes, she
and
did.
vision.
Oh yeah,
Nation.
she stood by him. She stood by him. She hasn't said a bad word about him since he's been assassinated. She stood by him. That's a good woman.
I mean, the things that have happened since his assassination, we've seen the turmoil. We've seen the
Yes.
US embassy having to ship out because gangs have taken over. They've turned the entire nation upside down. People are starving. They can't even access fuel.
No.
Nothing. It's just been anarchy, total anarchy in Haiti.
And I hope the people who were behind it, they didn't prosper from it because of the anarchy, I hope they didn't prosper. Because yeah.
You can't get ahead doing evil like that, right?
You can't. I hope the country's too far gone that they could actually profit from that in any way, shape, or form. I hope that the politicians, whoever they are so impotent that they can't do anything themselves, I really hope for the best that Haiti has a total turn on after this, and they realize that killing their leaders only leads to more chaos. I hope they think about it now. I hope all the other Caribbean countries think about it now, because I don't want that to happen to any other Caribbean country or Central American country for that matter, leave your leaders alone, because it will turn your country into absolute chaos, because there's a power vacuum. It's obvious now that Jovenel Moise, he was the glue that kept Haiti together. It's obvious now, he was the intelligence that was making sure that things ran smoothly. Now, it probably wasn't him alone, but it was just him putting people in strategic places that was able to make things work in Haiti. So now he's gone now. The country's in free fall. Now what did you get for it? So all of those Haitian elites living up there in Gonaive and living up there in the hills, I hope you realize now, you better support your president regardless of who it is, because he's working for your benefit. I hope they lost money too, because that was another conspiracy theory that, some of these Haitian elites, the white Haitians that live up in the hills, that they were actually behind some of this. But that's not being proven yet either. So I just hope that they realize that if it wasn't them, ensure that your president is protected. But ensure that your president is protected. Because you see what can happen in Haiti, right? You may not like him, but protect him at least. And you make sure that he has the information, the intelligence that's going to keep him safe. Anyway, that's my rant for the night. Short rant. Yeah.
But yeah, we really do hope, that things do happen. I know the U.S. Department of Justice, spoke about it. They've been, and even CARICOM has assigned some ministerial team to try and bring some sort of normalcy to Haiti. So we are hoping and we are rooting for Haiti being one of our.
Yes, we are. But I saw him, because we've been talking about it for years now, and I always chastise our leaders for using Haiti as a talking point, using it as, some kind of glib statement. Oh no, we got to protect Haiti. We got to, have something for Haiti, and they use it so cheaply, you got to work for Haiti. You got to help Haiti. But now I really see it. You have to help Haiti, man.
Yeah, you do.
It's a great failure in the Western Hemisphere,
They filter and affect all societies as well.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So if we don't do that, who is going to protect us?
Exactly. Indeed. Exactly. It's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling in the Western Hemisphere. Oh my goodness. But speaking of Central America as well, have you been following this El Salvador roundup of all these gangs in El Salvador, MS-13 and all the other Barrio and 18 gang members?
I saw that was put out, a human rights group put out a report on it, on the crime.
Yeah, the Cristobal nonprofit group. They said about 153 gang members were assassinated by El Salvadorian police officers while they were either in custody or locked up in jail, which is quite sad. But President Bukele of El Salvador, he's intent on cleaning up, El Salvador from the MS-13 gang. He's intent, because it's given the country a black eye, all the way from El Salvador all the way up to Colorado in the United States. It's given El Salvador a black eye. They are the country where where MS-13 gang, they are nestled. That's where they're from. And what else is sad with this gang crackdown inside El Salvador is that some of these guys that they have arrested in El Salvador, they are actually American citizens. I mean, some of these guys were either naturalized in the United States or they were born in the United States and joined MS-13 through the porous borders by the MS-13 gang moving back and forth between Mexico and El Salvador and the United States. These gangs operate fluidly across the border. So some of these guys they have arrested and locked up inside El Salvador, they are actually American citizens. which is quite unfortunate.
I mean, when you think about that kind of assassination, it's not death by trial. You're not giving justice a fair chance. You've taken justice into your own hands
Yes.
and started these kinds of assassination. It's
Yeah.
outside democratic justice,
Yes.
that countries try to uphold.
It's extrajudicial killings. Extrajudicial killings.
But that too mars your country.
Yes.
When
it
you
does.
look at how is your country going to be perceived when it comes to taking care of these elements?
Yes.
We understand that the elements have wreaked havoc on your country's reputation. They have affected the entire chain link from Central America all the way up to Los Angeles.
Yes.
Uh,
Colorado. Colorado.
Right. Wow. Going all the way up to the United States.
Mhm.
And if you're not getting any kind of support and seeing justice happening, I guess frustration will lead you to do something like that.
Yes. And he's trying his hardest, man, to ensure that El Salvador rids himself of this MS-13 gang. And
It's sending a strong message is what he's trying to do.
yes. And I think it may be too much, like how you say it may be too much. You have to think about human rights. And you have to think
Right.
about people's personal liberty. But I guess, I guess the MS-13 gang, they've really forfeited their right to be treated like human beings and citizens because of the murderous things they've done. They're really a brutal gang. People are afraid of them, Kim. They're not like the regular Crips and the Bloods and the Latin Kings that are in the United States. They are a brutal gang. They are murderous. They're
You see
terrifying.
tattoos and everything, so they have that look already.
Yes. They're murderous, man. They're oh my God, they're awful. I've read some of the stories about them. They are dreadful. And I could see why, southern states, Texas, Phoenix, Texas, Arizona, Los Angeles, they want a better secured border. They want to keep these people out. And something what's so funny about this is that African Americans should want those borders closed the most because when the MS-13 gangs get over into the United States, they war with the black gangs, the Bloods and the Crips and the Gangster Disciples. And so there's an eternal war going on in Los Angeles right now between the Latins and the Bloods and the Crips. So it's them who actually suffer the most. And it's those African Americans that are in Los Angeles, that are in Texas, that are losing jobs, those minimum wage jobs to these Mexicans and El Salvadorians come across the border and take their jobs. It's them who suffer the most. So they should be the ones who should not be, they should be the ones who should be crying the most. And they should have a secure border because it keeps their kids safe, it keeps their boys safe, and it keeps their jobs secure. But no, they want to fall behind the Democratic Party for some strange reason. And they want, sanctuary cities, they want open borders. And it doesn't help them at all, It's the truth. And it's not funny, it's the truth. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. But anyway, that's their business. That's America's business. And we shouldn't get involved in America's business. I just hope that this President Bukele in El Salvador, he really continues on a more softer path with getting some of these MS-13 gang members locked up and squared away from the society because they've really gone above and beyond. Some of them are beyond repair. They live the gang. They breathe the gang. They have nothing else to live for, Kim.
And I believe that two of his members in his parliament was they were targeted by the U.S. Treasury for being connected with the gangs, right?
Yes. And former president as well. The former president of El Salvador, he is being convicted in El Salvador for supporting, for organizing with one of the gangs, the MS-13 gang. Former President Fuentes, he's being convicted in El Salvador. I think it's a bit of politics, though. They lie on you, but such is life. Such is life.
These things aren't far-fetched. Honestly, when I think of gangs, and I think that every government has some kind of influence by the gangs.
Yes.
We look at it here in Trinidad and Tobago, and I swear that for these things to be running rampant, for you not to be putting in place certain security measures for protecting your borders and your states, it means that someone is benefiting from the underground world.
Yes. I'm having a very dark view about politics in general. I believe most of our politicians they're connected to the dark underworld. Not one of them clean. And even if one of them, they're innocent, they don't know what's going on, their handlers know exactly what's going on, why they have to do certain things. So I take a dark view to politics. I believe all that's dirty money. All of it's dirty money.
I believe so. You have to be aware of what's happening in your
Yeah,
country.
you have to
You
be
have
aware.
to be to a greater extent of, what's coming in, what's not. Even if you don't want to be, you're still going to be forced to, you might want to turn a blind eye to it, but you can't, you may not be complicit, but yeah.
Yeah, but you have to know what's going on. Or your handlers may protect you to such extent they don't even let you know. That means you are just like a figurehead, you know. They're running the show while you're just the pretty face that wins the election. I've seen it
Yeah.
happen. I've seen it happen. You know.
I believe most countries around the world are sadly like that.
Yeah, yeah. What a shame, right? What a shame. I don't think politics is always worth it, you know. I just don't think it is, dude. Yeah, I don't think it is, man. That may sound strange to you, but I don't think it is, you know. At the end of the day, you have to do some dirty things and you have to actually make sure that your hands stay clean so you can win the next election, but you really can't keep your hands clean because it has to get dirty. So it's one of those things where God really has to be with you. You have to be led by the divine spirit, you know, if you to be in charge and actually to rule people because it's a dirty business, man. It's a very dirty business. I don't envy them at all, you know.
And some other lighter news, though, let's talk a bit about. I'm going to Guyana now because I heard that President Irfan Ali will be awarded with the Inter American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture (ICA) their award for. He will be the first recipient of this award for contribution to food security and sustainable development.
Okay, what has he done? I thought it was just a bunch of talk and a bunch of plans he put in place. What actually has he done?
No, he's actually, he set in place the whole agriculture thing. I sent you something that Bahamas will be having the Agriculture CARICOM Expo later this year in October. But
Okay.
what he has started with Barbados Prime Minister, he's given land for the production of crops, cassava, and even when it came to growing husbandry, animal husbandry. They've begun using the lands in Guyana to
Okay.
provide food for the region, and
Oh, so
Barbados.
he's actually done something. Okay, that's good. He's actually done something. Fair enough. It's
So,
not
and
just thoughts and plans.
regional food security agenda that it's supposed to pull in place every Caribbean nation and island, and to becoming supporting your agriculture industry, supporting the entrepreneurship of agriculture on your island.
Yeah,
The production of corn and soybeans. He's pushed forward for legislation to increase investment and trade, especially these large projects that support these things. Right now in Ghana, what they're doing though is opening up infrastructure that will support this agriculture process. Remember, they've got the lands and the forest, and it's utilized. It's caused them to look in this direction of, okay, we need to irrigate the land, we need to provide the infrastructure that will allow for support of agriculture industry.
Okay. So he's worth something. That's good. 3 cheers for Irfan Ali, President Irfan Ali. You know, it's not just talk. He actually put his money where his mouth was, right? And did something about the problem. That's good.
Yeah.
You know,
So
he can get an award for that.
yeah, it was called the Ghana Barbados Food Terminal Regional Food Hub. So that is that's the whole initiative apparently.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. That's good.
So
So Irfan Ali's worth his salt.
and we see that the expo is coming towards the Bahamas in October this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna need that here. We're gonna need some inspiration because we're trying to get our own thing off and running here ourselves, right?
Yes, I know. When it comes to the taxation of, I remember hearing you guys how heavy the taxes were when it came to agriculture products, the seedlings and things like that. I was like, wow, but you're all right. Why so much tax?
Yeah, because that's how we pay our bills. We still depending on customs duties, you know. We tried to wean off into value-added tax, but we haven't done so eternally yet. These guys are still raking up all the money from customs duties and value-added tax. And so they're quite greedy and they're spending money right, left, and center, you know. And they wouldn't give us a break. But anyway, it's gonna happen soon because they're gonna kill the economy one way or the other. Yeah, it has to happen soon, you know. It's just you have to wait till they have enough. And their stomachs are full.
And then I heard that Virgin Airlines has opened up an air bridge around the Eastern Caribbean states.
Oh, that's nice.
So that is supposed to boost transport within the region.
That's good.
So yeah, that was something that took off earlier, I think last week.
Oh, that's
So,
costs a pretty penny too, actually. Is
I
it a
mean,
man there for it though? That's the thing. That's the problem.
having to take off and just land within 30 minutes, it's not feasible when it comes to,
No, absolutely not.
air
So
efficiency.
what kind of jets they have? They have like the 20 seaters, the 10 seaters.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
big
It's
jets.
those big ones.
Mm.
That's an inter-island service between at least Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Mm.
And yeah, so that's interesting. And I believe yeah, they're looking, I mean, we need something like that. And I think that there's for a long time, this part of the Caribbean has done without interregional transport.
Yes.
After the fallout with Liat, there hasn't been anything
The
really
failure of the act.
failure of Liat. Liat was always a cry upon all Caribbean travelers.
Yes, say it right. The failure of the act. Oh, what a sad tragedy, right? I mean, they tried though. They tried, but it just couldn't work. There's no demand for it. You can't run an airline on one flight a week, maybe.
No, we've got the demand for it. There is a demand for transport. I mean, my aunts and uncles,
Have to fill a jumbo jet.
not for a jumbo jet, but for small small transport. At least flying to the islands, a few
But it
times.
costs just as much. That's the thing. It costs just as much to run those small planes as to run the big planes. Because they have to go into the same airports, run to the same airlines. I mean, run in the same runways. They have to park the same places. They pay the same tax, the same fees. So you may think it's like easy to run a small plane, but no, it's not. You might as well pay for a jumbo jet at the same time, but there's not enough of it to run that. And the price is feasible.
The whole thing with Virgin is to promote some kind of transport for the islands for the next period. It's a summer period, summer to winter. There's a Barbados to Grenada route that'll operate on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
I give that maximum 2 years before that fizzles out.
I believe so far it seems to be a year.
A year? Okay. It's going to fizzle out by a year, you say? You kill me.
Short too.
You that can't be sustained for 4 or 5 years. I doubt it. You have to see how it works. Anyway, that's 3 chairs for Virgin Atlantic. Yay! They're actually trying to help some Richard Branson. So Richard Branson, he's such a gentleman, isn't he? He came to several times. Yeah.
British Airways is right now the flight. If you want to get to Antigua or Dominica, it's usually a British Airways flight. If you want to get there soon, St. Lucia and Antigua from Port of Spain, it's usually British Airways. We've got airlines, but it's I think it's more costly. But right now, British Airways is actually fueling that flight. Is actually not even from Port of Spain. It's actually to Tobago. Okay. So if we want to be back, so we have to hop across to Tobago, Scarborough, and then take a plane to Antigua or Barbados.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's hope that works out. I doubt it will, but that's
costly. It's very costly. It's not efficient.
Yeah. Tickets probably about $3,000 TT dollars.
Perhaps, if so little. And that's the same amount that you would pay to go Miami.
Yeah, I know, right?
But you've got to go to the islands for business. We've got cricket, CPL is coming up.
Caribbean
League. And people are going to fly to the Caribbean to go see their favorite cricket matches.
You think about cricket? I know nothing about cricket.
Well, we have cricket, here in Trinidad. Obviously, we're home to Brian Lara.
Yes. The great Brian Lara. Say, put some respect on his name, Kim. The great Brian Lara. I know that.
Viv Richards. I think he's, and we have our batsmen from all over the region, from all the way from Guyana straight up to Jamaica.
I heard there was some controversy about Caribbean cricket. Apparently, the new head coach of the West Indies, he's not respected. He's kind of inexperienced. I can't remember. Say it again. What's that?
I believe it's David Sammy. Yeah.
David Sammy, right. Yeah, David Sammy. That's right. People were pissed off, he got the job, say he was inexperienced.
Yeah.
I just ran across that today, actually, just by me searching.
Yeah. So I believe it's being said by Chandapol from Guyana, as well as Shivnaran Chandapol and those guys. They're saying that why are you giving this young guy, Darren Sammy, to coach the West Indies. He's a youngster. I mean, he doesn't have that much experience. And West Indies has been out of the loop when it comes to international cricket and scoring really high for the longest while. And they're saying that you've got other people like Shivnarine Chandapol and who actually studied and they've got the qualifications to be selected as coach. So they're actually saying, is there some kind of nepotism involved when it comes to him being selected? I think Ray Sawan, he's also a Guyanese. He's saying, why is it you all have not given Shiv Chandapol a chance to be our coach?
I hate when it gets like that, you know. I hate when it gets like this because there's so many things you could say about this back and forth, right? But let's just, support, Darren Sammy. Let's try to give him our best until he fails.
I mean, no.
What if he doesn't fail?
No, he's been in a position before. That's the thing.
Yeah. What if he doesn't fail? What if he actually does a good job, He's
been in a position before and he's come under heavy flack and it's not been good. And the entire team faltered when it came to having that moral team building spirit. And the team faltered and it fell true at international leagues.
Okay.
When you've seen that, why are you doing this again? So they're calling more transparency when it comes to giving this position. Make a decision that will be beneficial for Caribbean people as a whole. You want West Indies cricket to come back. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to come back to the glory days.
There's no more Brian Lara. You're not going to have the glory days anymore until you have another Brian Lara.
After Brian Lara, we had some good batsmen, I believe, but it's a matter of giving the chance. It's a matter of having that team spirit and molding and support. The West Indies Cricket Board has been in trouble for the longest while.
Are people still in love with the sport the way it used to be back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, or what?
Cricket to us here in Trinidad. We've got cricket clubs still going. Cricket something daily in our schools.
Okay.
It's throughout the entire region. It's probably not as big. I know you all are more baseball American.
Baseball and softball, yeah. And actually, we just changed our national sport was cricket. And we just changed our national sport to sailing about 2 months ago. So just stick the pin in that right there. Yeah, it was cricket all these years. We weren't playing cricket at all. In my high school days, I did not pick up a cricket bat once.
Wow.
Never once. And that was our national sport through all my life. And we just now changed it to sailing 2 months ago, literally 2 months ago. And so I've never picked up a cricket bat. I don't even know how the game is supposed to be played.
Oh, wow. I don't know the rules exactly. I can follow it just watching the game. I have an understanding of it. But cricket is something that every school child played during our recess and lunchtime. We all had cricket teams at our schools that competed at the primary school level, at the secondary school level. There were girls and boys teams. We do have girls leagues. We have female leagues and other leagues for the boys, and they filter into the national team and then into the West Indies team. And that's how you get cricketers to represent your country and your region.
Yeah. Cricket's pretty big. Yeah. Sorry, I just don't know much about it, but yeah, I hope they work it out with Sammy and the rest of the other people who are vying for the spot. But for now, you have Sammy, so stick with him at least for the time being, I guess. Yeah, nothing else really could do about
Not when it comes to what you need, when it comes to encouraging team spirit, when it comes to, training your guys what to do, what not to do. When you've got Shivnarine Chandapol that has level 3 coaching certificates and they've actually paid the way for the last 40 years. You've just got 15 years under your belt? 10, 15.
Are you having a cricket debate with me?
Are you having a debate?
Is this a squat show now, Kim?
Caribbean.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I don't know, Kim, but I respect it. I respect it. I just happened to run across the argument this afternoon. So yeah. So personally, I don't know them personally, but if there's a case for it, work with him. If it's not, but he's trash, we'll get rid of him.
Yeah, I hope they do make the right team. You want to see West Indies come back. You see, you've got right man at the helm. Jimmy Adams was there And Jimmy Adams was, I knew him ever since. And it was, but apparently this decision was made by him.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I want to see West Indies cricket come back.
And don't lose to places like Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is good. It's when you see us losing to people like New Zealand or Afghanistan.
Yeah. Oh wow. New Zealand's a crappy team.
When you losing towards Afghanistan, when you see us losing to, what other country?
Afghanistan have a team.
Like Afghanistan has a team. When you see us losing to Canada, Canada is a pool of all the diaspora cricket.
Yes.
When you see us losing to teams like that, no, it's not right.
Where they prefer baseball. Yeah, I know. That's a shame, right? Yeah, but I know India's the top team, right?
India, England has always been there. Australia, South Africa.
Yeah, the big teams, right? And we've faced up with them on many occasions, right? We've actually, competed very well against these large teams, right?
Yes. I mean, we were always pitted against India, and we did really good against India for a good long time. India knows when you want to talk about us in India, you just have to mention Brian Lara, and he gets the respect, and they know immediately where you're from.
Yes. I mean, personally, Kim, I didn't realize how much of a big star he was. And I started really reading up, and I realized how much he did for cricket. Brian Lara was the biggest thing in cricket the world ever saw for a time being, right? He was like the Jordan of cricket, wasn't he?
Yes, I would say that.
Michael Jordan of cricket. Wow. I like to meet him though. I like to meet a superstar like him.
He's a fairly down to decent guy.
I can imagine so. Didn't let the fame get his head. Well, let me ask a question, an ignorant question. So where do people go with cricket? I mean, do they have like international cricket leagues where guys make money from playing cricket? Like how they have soccer leagues and baseball leagues? Yeah, they do.
So there's the Indian Premier League. So right now you've got Dwayne Bravo, his team, and his brother, and all of them. They're playing at the Indian League. So just like you've got clubs in soccer, football, they've got cricket leagues across the world, and you can put clubs there and you can make money. The Caribbean CPL also has clubs. Not necessarily. The CPL actually attracts players from all around the world. They come and they play for our clubs based on our islands here.
Do they make money from playing?
Yes, they make lots of money.
Oh, okay.
Large. I mean, I saw that some of the youngsters, the teenagers, and if you see the big vehicles they're driving.
They got the drip, Kim. They got the drip and the bling.
Got it. They live large.
Yeah.
They're revered as kings wherever they go.
Yes. The wrists are frosty. The wrists are frozen. The necks are frozen.
They've got money. They're set. And even after you've retired, you have that, the coaching ability. You tour the world still. You are able to do commentary. Most of them get into cricket commentary. So you've got a lot of the broadcasting houses around the entire world calling on you to do commentary for cricket.
That's good.
Yeah, they travel to parts of Africa, Australia, many parts of Australia, just to do commentary.
Okay. I'm gonna make it my business to learn cricket now. So I can at least know what the game is like, right? Go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
We have the CPL coming up, so that will be a good starting point.
To see what they would. Right? I'll look into, yeah.
Fine. It's usually like a big fet here in Trinidad. Right on the outskirts of San Fernando, we've got the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. It's a stadium. They started having the finals there. They've moved the finals from sometimes the Queen's Park Oval, to the Brian Lara Stadium. And it's a big uproar. The entire outskirts of the stadium is full with people. You've got, dancers. It's like a big rave.
Big party, right?
Yeah, big party. So Guyana has been trying to host the finals these days. It's a big tourist attraction.
I got you.
Sporting tourism.
Yeah, sports tourism. It's pretty big. So we don't know. We gave up. We gave it up for sailing, but sailing has been in our blood for years, man. So I don't see anything wrong with it because we weren't playing cricket. Like I said, I went my whole entire high school, primary school years without even picking up a cricket bat, not even knowing what a cricket ball looked like. I've never touched a cricket bat in my life. So
You don't
I can understand.
you don't want to be hit with one of those balls. It comes really fast.
Oh wow.
Good.
You get socked with it, right?
As a girl child, yes, I've been on the outskirts and the misfortune of getting hit a few times
Mm.
by naughty schoolboys.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'll say naughty school boys.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Mhm.
They do that just to get your attention or piss you off or something like that.
Oh Lord. Were you teased in high school, Kim?
Yeah, I was teased all my entire life.
Oh, you were teased in high school.
I was a nerdy little girl. Nerdy girl. I had braces
Wow.
and
I didn't realize that. Okay. So you
yeah.
were bullied. That's quite a shame.
I dealt with it. I didn't really care too much. Whatever.
We have to do a show about bullying one time. We have to talk about bullying, cyberbullying, and whatnot, making sure the kids are safe.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of the thing is it has changed over the years from what we endured in school. Right now it's taken to the cyber aspect of it, that when children have left the classrooms, they're being silently picked on online.
Mm.
Text messages and social media, TikTok,
Yes.
made a mockery of WhatsApp, things like that.
Call me old school, Kim. Call me old school. I don't think anyone under the age of 15 should have a cell phone, a smartphone.
I agree.
Why do you need a smartphone for? I'm your parent, I'm your guardian. I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to be taking care of you and watching where you're going on every given point in time. So why do you need a cell phone? Why do you need to be so apart from me? Where you need to call me? You're supposed to be right next to me, right up underneath. At least I'm supposed to know where you are. You shouldn't need to have a cell phone. If there's a landline phone, call me from that. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't believe kids under 15 should have a cell phone. What do you need it for? Who are you calling? Who do you have to call?
Mommy
Not me, because I'll come there and see you. I'll come to your school and see. I'll call your teacher. I'll call you. I'll call whoever's supposed to be supervising you. I'll come and I'll see you. I'll pick up the landline. You call me. You call who?
There used to be a rule in schools that cell phones were not allowed, but I think after COVID, things got a little bit lax and changed.
Yeah. People got back.
Devices in order to learn, in order to keep abreast of what's happening.
Yes,
so that's when devices really got solidified. So even though I know a lot of parents that were trying to protect their children from devices and the ills associated with technology.
Yes.
But,
because it only increases depression, Kim.
It does. I mean, you see things and the internet gives the illusion that everyone has it put together and they're doing well. That's just a facade. They're not really what's going on behind. Many of them have empty cupboards. They don't have food in their cupboards or refrigerator. They're starving.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see me getting up every morning, 4 o'clock to go and exercise. People realize I'm in pain, I'm in total pain. They see my smile. I'm in total pain. I don't want to be there at all, but I have to because I want to lose this weight and I want to get better. But they say, oh, I'm happy. Ah! Yeah, I'm in absolute pain. My body is sore. I'm actually out of pain.
You can give the illusion that, hey, he's enjoying it. He's a champion.
Yes, but afterwards I feel a bit better. But when I first get up in the morning, when I take those first sets of pictures, I'm in absolute pain. I'm sore and I don't want to do it. I'm still yawning and all. But after I started to kick up and crank up, I started to get better, So yeah, it is false. It is fake. Most of the things you see on Facebook and social media is fake,
But you get enough willpower and you've got it all together and I'm going. Despite rain, sun or shine, I'm there.
Yes, indeed. Because I realized that in that too, right? That is only a temporary feeling too, Once you get past that initial hump, you get cranking, man. You get cranking. What are you going to do? Fall asleep while you're actually in the middle of a jog? You're 3 miles and you just fall asleep. That's not going to happen. Once you start moving, you start moving, You
start moving, you move.
Yeah. It's only the devil. It's only your mind telling you don't do it, But once you get up and you actually start cranking up, you actually feel better,
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Just don't be lazy, man. You get used to it after a while. It becomes a part of a routine, a habit,
It does. Yeah, and your body craves it. You need it.
Exactly. I feel superior to these bums out here who can't get up in the morning. I feel superior to them, I feel very superior to them. You know, you can't get up. You can't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. At least do 10 push-ups. At least, you know, you can't do that. Come on, man.
That's Yuri Kemp.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. I feel
Yuri
superior.
tooting his own tonight.
I look at these bums with contempt, Kim, with contempt. If I could do it, you could do it.
Right.
You know, I came from 320 pounds, Kim, 320 pounds 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe even a year ago. And I'm down to 210 pounds now. I feel so good about myself.
I'm
Yeah.
all
I broke my record this morning. I told you that, right? You saw it right on my WhatsApp.
I saw.
Yeah. My 7 mile, the hour and 20 minutes. I broke that. You know, I really wanted to break it this morning. I broke it this morning, Kim. My limit. I broke my own record. I wanted to do 7 miles in an hour and 20 minutes. I did it, an hour and 20 minutes, just like that. I wonder if I could do an hour and 15 minutes. I think I can, you know.
Yeah.
I
Go
can.
for it. Let me see you.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try to get there. I'll try to get there. I see some guys running past me in the morning, and I say, man, I shouldn't let them beat me like that, you know. But now I'm so prideful now. Nobody should overtake me in the morning. Nobody should overtake me in the morning. Nobody. If you're coming up from at least 10 paces from behind me, I'm not going to let you pass me. We have to actually start a sprint. And you have to show me how strong you are. I'm not going to let you pass me. Absolutely not. That's
Yeah.
just, I'm a psychopath now, you know. My gym membership has been expired now, so I have to take a month off from the gym because I don't want to pay for another month right now because I really don't have the money. And then if I pay for the extra month, I'm going to pay for 1 month, and then they're going to have the sale in July for our independence celebration. So I'm going to wait until July for the independence celebration. I'm going to wait for that.
Find them to hurry us up and bring it closer.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to sit and chill. I'm just going to, you know, do my laps in the morning, do my miles in the morning, do my push-ups and sit-ups, and let's take it like that. You know, otherwise than that, I'm going to wait for the independence sale. Speaking of which, Independence is on July 10th here in the Bahamas, and I need to get my independence shirts, my independence gear. I see them on sale now, but everyone has already had their own gear. I need to get my own independence shirts. Need to get one for me, one for mom. You know.
So that's the blue, black, and yellow.
Yes, aquamarine, gold, and black. Aquamarine, not blue. Aquamarine, gold, and black.
Right.
Yeah. So that's our colors. And then you get the 50th year anniversary to commemorate this 50th year anniversary.
What's special about this year's one? What are they doing?
Well, they had several events, you know. They had like a street party on Whit Monday. They're going to have several concerts leading up to it. There are a lot of dedications to all of our former heroes and the guys who have the usher in independence, from the former Prime Minister Celine Finling to the former first Governor General Malo Butler. And they're having a bunch of events leading up to the actual day, July 10th. Now, on July 10th, they're going to have like a tattoo, the parade on Clifton Park. It's like Savannah Grass. It's like the big park. They're going to have like the police band, the defense force band. They're going to do a parade for us. We're going to go through the entire motion of that Independence Night. Every Independence we do anyway, but this year it's going to be bigger. It's going to be more special.
So is there some kind of special insignia that they've put out for the commemoration of this milestone?
Yeah, they have like a 50th anniversary pin. And
Right.
it's really pretty pin. And they actually have an emboss on shirts as well. They've
Right.
given up to all the shirt manufacturers and the print makers. Yeah, you can get it. That's why I'm going to get my shirt sometime next week, you know. Make sure before I actually run all of them, you know.
I remember that we celebrated our 50 years 10 years ago, and it was a big thing, you know. Everywhere was decked with red, black, and white, and we had the 50th celebrations. It was really momentous. Everyone got a free flag, just in your car. You know, you stick it up right on the side of your window, and everyone was carrying the flag. You know.
No, you got to pay for your stuff here. No, we're not freebies here. This is not a socialist country. We got to pay for your stuff.
You got
one thing about Bahamas is no freebies here. That really pains me, you know. But yeah, it pains me, man. There's no freebies here.
We did. We just had to write in or send a letter or something.
No.
People got flags.
Okay. That's fair enough. Look, speaking of flags, Kim, that's a wrap for us tonight. Any final thoughts, Kim?
Just wishing you all a wonderful start to the month of June.
Yes, indeed. So thank you for joining me again, Kim. I really enjoy having you here. You know, I tell you that, right? I really enjoy having you here with me, man. I couldn't do the show without you, Kim. I'll tell you God's honest truth. I really appreciate you being here with me.
My
So
pleasure.
yes, this is another LimeVibe Live podcast. As usual, please like, share, and subscribe these videos on our Facebook page or our YouTube page as LimeVibe 77. Please like, share, and subscribe to our videos. It really helps us out a lot. And also, please donate to our videos as well. You're going to see a link in the description of this video where you see the donate link, and you just click it and it's going. You put in any one that you wish, whether it's 50 cents, whether it's $50, whether it's $50,000. Please donate to the show. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us to spread our message out across the world. So thank you once again for joining us for another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Camp. I'll see you again on Wednesday night. Goodbye.
Good night.